Match week 11, Liverpool still on top, and a great weekend for them. Absolutely brilliant weekend. Man City losing again.
Okay, you can tell the ref is biased, can't you? Like David Coop, but the other way around.
A hoot, a hoot.
well, well, he's the one who didn't like Liverpool, so he'll.
Yeah.
It's a bitter twist for that. Um, but also, yeah, Man City are struggling. Is Rodri really missed that much?
I, I think it just shows how great Fergie is because he never lost 4 games in a row.
Okay, right. Let's mute him.
No, you know what?
Um,
You know what?
Oh, look.
That's it.
Hang
That's a
on,
yellow.
hang on.
That's a
Oh,
yellow for
look
that.
who's trying to mute
that
me.
is.
I'll
Yeah.
take that. I'll take a draw. I'm surprised your arse isn't hurting sitting on the fence. I'll take a draw.
Look,
Anytime
really.
Chelsea get it, I'll take a draw.
Yeah, I
Shut
would
your
take a draw
mouth.
against Arsenal. That was
Shut
a
your mouth. And
that
against
was fun.
United.
We're
United were
third in the league.
relegation battle.
We're third in the league. We played every single team in the top six currently. It's not bad. Very United. Bottom half of the table,
4 points behind.
playing shite. You
We
got
had the
out
worst
XG'd by
season.
Leicester.
XG. Oh, you new boys on the block love that, don't you? But we're only 4 points behind.
They loved
Yeah, but
XG when it was Ten Hag, didn't they?
yeah, they did.
I'll be honest, I don't even know what XG means, so I don't really care for it.
No, I'm not surprised.
But
You know?
it's and well, like I say about City, four losses on a bounce, the worst that's ever happened for Pep Guardiola. Surely this international break will be good for them to recoup.
I reckon it says this is last season. I mean, I think it's got to be. I don't know if this is the reason. Obviously, Rodri not being there plays a part, but they've dealt with not having him before. I don't think you keeping up that intensity, not just the team, but also Pep, year after year after year, like having to bounce back. Because like years gone by, previous seasons, they'd never lose two on the bounce. If they lost and you were playing them after a loss, you just thought, oh, they're going to pump us 5-0.
You're gonna get a
They
spanking.
would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like
I think
to get them going again and again and again for year after year after year, it must be difficult.
Really
I
does
don't
show
think
the
they
greatness
strengthen.
of prior manager greats. Previous managers in the Premier League who won the league back to back, and then went again, had a bad season,
Well, like
came back
5
again,
times.
and just smashing
Yeah.
it. We were, a certain team was only robbed because a player got suspended
Right, kill it.
for
Can
kicking
you
a racist
kill him?
fan.
Yeah.
Can you
Do you
send
know
him
what?
off?
Do you know
Can you send
what?
him off?
You're already on
I'm
your yellow.
not saying any particular team. I'm
Colin,
just
That's an
saying.
early yellow, I think.
City have
you're
won.
already on your yellow, and you're on a warning now.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
City won 4 on the bounce, 5 on the bounce. Would this be the 5th season if they win it this year?
This would be the fifth.
Yeah.
They've won 4 in the bounce. They're missing Rodri. They're missing De Bruyne. I mean, De Bruyne's kind of back, isn't he? But he's not playing fully. They're missing Oscar Bob. They're missing a lot of players that are good for them
Oscar
going
Bob.
forward.
Flipping
Oscar Bob's a baller. He's a quality
Oscar
player.
Bob.
They were lining him up for this season to kick on, and he was.
Yeah.
It's not
United
fit.
are missing Boba Fett or whatever.
Look, I mean, Christ, we're in for a long episode here, but I think they didn't have a great summer transfer window. They didn't strengthen. They still don't have a Rodri replacement. They literally don't have another CDM.
In the January transfer window? Will they get a Rodri 2.0?
Yeah.
They'll get a super mental,
replacement. Yeah.
You know what? All I know this weekend, City took a hammering, and United got hammering. There we go. That's a.
Well, they weren't. They were Van Nistelrooy.
You win one game, and you think you're Billy Big Bollocks again.
Well, it's not even that. It's not even that, George. We've won the game. We're 4 points behind you.
Yeah. Am I lying though? Am I lying?
No,
I haven't mentioned winning the game. All I've said is we're 4 points behind.
Yeah.
And we're having the worst season we've had.
So we're only 10 games in, mate.
So it's still pretty poor for Man United.
And that's what I mean. We're having our worst season.
Every season that stat gets renewed, though, it's like, oh, we're having our worst season. and then next season, now we're having our worst ever season.
Yeah.
You're fooling yourself again that you're in with the chance. It's
Just like my relationship status. Every time I go out and you go, oh yeah, it's the worst. I'll get another one. It's the worst.
Yeah.
But and
Can't
also
sink any lower. Next one, she's at freestone heavier. Just gets worse.
Next
every
one's
season.
not a dick.
obviously Van Nistelrooy has done well for his few games that he's been in charge, but
You know what? He's actually handled it all with a degree of
tinned.
class.
Straight out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think it's the right thing to do. If Amorim wants to bring his own people in, so be it. No, Nistelrooy's done a great job, and then I think it puts him in line. You know, he's put himself in a great position to get the Arteta job when he gets fired for failing again by the end of the season.
It's not even worthy of a nibble.
This is ridiculous. Yeah, you've beaten Leicester, relegation candidates alongside yourself.
Arsenal failing again.
They've beaten. I want to talk about Man United here. They've beaten Leicester. Amorim is going to come in once he gets his work permit. That is, and first game is Ipswich. Then Cooley's going to be jumping. If they beat Ipswich, I appreciate Ipswich. Tottenham. Jumping up and down. There'll be 1 point. It will be 1 point behind you guys.
Well, if we don't, we've got Leicester, so that's considering we lose to Leicester, and with a 12:30 kickoff.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
12:30 kickoff. Anything can happen, George. You know what? I'm looking forward to it because when Leicester and Chelsea play and they draw, George will be messaging us. Oh, it's a 12:30 kickoff. I'll take a draw.
Away 12:30 kickoff. Yeah, I probably would take a draw. No, we've got to win that, obviously.
The fixtures have helped Arsenal and Chelsea this time because we've
both had far higher starts than you.
We've had a horrible start.
No, they both
okay. That's the second yellow.
They've made him play last thing on Sunday, and they've given everybody the first fixtures. You know, so we've got to do the chasing. It's fine. It's fine.
That's the
chasing. You have to do the chasing because you had the worst start you've ever had.
That is really weird. That is more tinfoil hat than anything I've said.
I'm not having that, Mr. Conspiracy against Arsenal. You know, they just don't want Amorim to start giving out hammerings as soon as he starts. You know, so.
I am. Do you know what? I am 10% nervous that your new coach is going to be good. Because one of them's got to be good. You can't keep...
Eventually, a broken clock is right twice a day, right? Eventually, we've got to get it right, just through law of averages.
He's a good manager, but Mourinho is a good manager. Ten Hag was a good manager.
I think he'll take time. You know,
here we go.
Serious jokes aside, I think it will take time.
Really?
So
I swear you said that about Ten Hag. It will take time.
It can't take... It's Man United. You have to get results. He doesn't have time. How long do you want to give him?
The rest of
4 years and you're in the same position?
I'll give him 1.5 years.
1.5 years?
You've got a challenge for the league next season.
Next season, we've got to be in the top four, like, comfortably.
But
you do. Yeah,
that's fair enough.
I don't expect a title race, but I expect be top four, right?
You do, yeah.
And then after that,
but we will remind you of this at the back end of next season if you're doing shit and you're like, no, he needs more time. More time.
Yeah.
All right, Fancy. I agree. I probably will because I'll do that. But isn't it funny? Like at the start of the season, we were talking about, like who will finish top out of our clubs, and we're only 4 points behind. I mean, the way things are going. Us finishing above Chelsea and Arsenal might mean we finish 10th and they finish 11th, 12th. Is not what we're expecting. But, you know, it could happen. And City could be 13th. That'd be lovely. You know, 4 on the trot. Could they make it 5 in a row? Who they got? They got Spurs.
How much have you had to drink today?
I don't drink. It's just a lovely day. Amorim.
But onto the big one. Chelsea, Arsenal. And like Cooley said, George, you said you'll take the draw.
Well, 1-0 down. 1-0 down. A draw is fine, I think. Look, I just wanted to see how we played against Arsenal. Like, we lost 5-0 against them last time we played them. This game, if we take, I know Arsenal had chances as well. It was a very balanced game. Both teams could have probably won it, but a draw is probably fair. And there's work. Look, we played well. We looked good, and the signs for us are nothing but positive. Like, you can't say we're not going in the right direction. This when we played them last year away, it was horrible. Who wants to go to one of their main rivals and lose 5-0 away? Like, it's shocking. And like, that was one of the games. Like, I mean, there were multiple. But that was one of the games I was like, this just can't continue. You can't play with that style of football and sustain any sort of results. I mean, we lost narrowly against Liverpool. We lost against City first game of the season, but we drew against Arsenal. And in the Liverpool game and this game, it could have gone either way and we could have won another day. We didn't. But he's 11 games in. Like, he's doing a fucking good job so far. So I can't complain too much.
You're third, right? Back. You're third.
We're third, yeah. And actually, if you'd have said we'd be third this at the start of the season, I would have literally snapped your arm off like that. I thought we'd be in and around the top four, maybe. I predicted we'd come third, but that's more, a bit tongue in cheek. But yeah, buzzing with where we are at the minute. I'd have liked to win, but we didn't. It's fine.
It's the progress, right? It's not just, to be honest, it's not just the points. It's the progress in how you're playing. Even the games that you haven't won or you have drawn, and I'll back you here, but you can still see the method. You can still see the progress. And that fills you with more confidence going forward. This, in a way, and I know we finished a lot worse than you guys, but for you guys, it's a bit of a free hit for him. Like this first half of the season, everybody was going to give him time to bed I'm not saying the whole season, but this first half of the season, it's like, all right, let's see what happens. All right, we expect it. Things not. It's a free hit, and the guys, he's smashing it.
I don't know if it's a free hit when you spend $1 billion.
The media would have been bang on him straight away.
Yeah, but
straight away, start of the season, they're like 42 man squad, 42. Oh yeah, for sure.
These 10 games, you would have accepted if they were just figuring it out. You'd seen, you'd seen a bit of progress, but what he's achieved, it's phenomenal. Personally, I think so. Anyway, I love taking.
It's only a start. He's got to keep it up.
Chelsea,
it's only a start, but it's positive.
That's the best Chelsea team we've played in a couple of years. I'd say. I mean, like
since
you said,
Tuchel, really.
Yeah, I mean, last season.
Everyone seems to forget they do have a 200-man squad.
Yeah. Well, there you go. But look, on the actual game, look, I went. I was sitting in the Chelsea end, and I had to really, after the story I told you boys last week about going into that Scouser, I really had to concentrate. I didn't flinch. We scored, and I was like this. I didn't break character, and it was quite nice actually. Before the game, news started doing the rounds that Spurs had lost. So I had a bit in common with the boys around me. We was all sort of digging out Spurs, which was nice.
Yeah, that's good.
And I thought the atmosphere was really good. I mean, the guy I was with, who's a massive Chelsea supporter, part of the fan forum and all that sort of stuff, he said, it's not always like that. That is, it's a London derby, but I was impressed. But I thought it kind of had the feel of a cup game. It was a bit frantic, a little bit chaotic, end to end at times. And I think that's probably a symptom of both teams not really... A point for either not really being great. Both teams really kind of wanted to win and push on because it's so congested. That made, I thought, I know it wasn't a high quality game at times, but it was.
I was going to say that the quality was missing.
I wouldn't say it was low quality. I thought it was.
It wasn't high quality. It wasn't the quality you expect from a Chelsea Arsenal game. But just Piers just mentioned, I'm going to just digress for a split second. But Spurs, so Spursy, right? They beat Villa, a decent win, and then they go and lose to Ipswich, who haven't won a game. That is the most Spurs thing.
Yeah, and then lost to Palace the week before. So lost to Palace, lost to Ipswich, and then sandwiched that in between a pumping of Villa, which it makes sense.
It's just Spurs all over it, as you say. It's mentality with Spurs. They play, when they look good, they play great football. They play really well. But it can fluctuate from a half, like we've said before. It's just built into that club to just fuck it up when they shouldn't.
Isn't it amazing how it transcends generations, right? It just keeps happening. Anyway, sorry.
Going back to Arsenal, Piers. I know you were last week. It's a must-win. We have to beat Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean,
and now it's but
you know what?
surely
He's taking the draw too.
I've reflected on this a little bit. I'm trying to be a bit more of a rational.
Mate, you are a master of reflection, aren't you?
Yeah, you're gonna have to call him the mirror.
I've told you this. You know, like if we did this immediately after the game, I'd be going fucking mental, and you wouldn't get any sense out of me. So I need to. 24 hours. I'm not very clever. I need to digest it. I mean, look, just a little bit more, just a couple more points about the game. I thought Gusto and Cucurella dealt with our wingers really well. Martinelli didn't get any change out of Gusto, and Cucurella probably.
Saka didn't beat him once, did he?
I think he dealt with Saka better than I've seen any fullback deal with him. I mean, obviously you were doubling up, but you have to. But even still, and I think look, we had I mean that. Havertz offside, that was gutting because that was a toenail offside.
That was quality.
To be honest, that's the goal I wanted for George.
Yeah, I was loving it. I think we had you boys had a couple of chances where like there was headers where the goal was almost gaping.
Gusto
there was a lot of pressure from the defender. I mean, we could have won it right at the end, like the final kick of the game.
I think it was offside though.
Yeah, he might have been offside, but I think Odegaard. I mean, Odegaard's been out for 2 months. He played 10 minutes the other day, and then he came on and played 90 and was one of the best players on the pitch. Like,
isn't that a bit like they need to look after Odegaard, right? Like, I know you
Odegaard, who's he?
Odegaard.
Odegaard or whatever.
Haaland's cousin.
He was in Vikings. But
no, I mean, Odegaard is special.
He
was threading balls. He just.
Right, he got in the pass.
Always makes himself available, comes, picks up the ball, takes the game by the scruff of the neck. Like we've really lacked that in certain games where we've kind of slept walk throughout the second half. But I thought in the second half we were probably coming on a bit stronger than you were. Neto, good goal, but when I was watching it, I thought, fucking hell, that's a hit. But I think the keeper saw it late, and actually it wasn't totally in the corner. He probably should have done better. But someone should have closed it down.
I think that's harsh.
Are you still in the title race, Piers?
Our keeper should have done
better.
Well,
look, this is the point. This is the point I was getting to, right? Last season, we drew at Stamford Bridge. We lost away at Newcastle. We drew at Man City. And we drew one of our games against Liverpool. So those results in isolation aren't bad results, really.
Yeah,
not terrible. It's not terrible to go to Newcastle and lose 1-0. It's not terrible to draw against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge or Liverpool or City away. But when you've got all those games one after the other, excuse the context, you go, oh, fucking hell, we haven't picked up many points in the last month. But actually, we've had a really tough run. So the second half of the season does open up for us a bit. We've got a lot more home games and we played most of the top half and most of them away from home. So, look, we desperately need to go on a proper winning streak to be in with a shout. But look, City plays Spurs. That's a bit of a bogey team for them after the international break. Then shortly after, Liverpool plays City. Liverpool have a tough run, and we've got quite a favourable run. So, listen, if we win our next 5 games, we're probably back in the race.
So it's interesting. It's interesting you say that because you're like 9 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah,
and you think you're still in it, and United are 4 points behind.
Arsenal. Right, mute him. The thing is, you're rocking 9 points behind.
So that means we can still catch you guys.
Then 9 points behind City, wouldn't you? So I kind of, whilst I don't want to, I kind of agree with Pierce. It's too early to be writing them off. Can I touch on Caicedo as well? Because I think he has been fantastic this season, and yet again was unbelievable.
He was very good.
It was summed up with 93rd minute or whatever it was, and that ball was going in behind, and Caicedo just comes out of nowhere and just swipes it into the touchline, beating the ground. Like the energy from him he's been great for the last sort of 4 or 5 months, like the back end of last season, start of this season. I know he was getting a lot of grief at the start of his Chelsea career because of the price tag, which is fair enough. You should do 110 million. It's a lot, but I think you are really seeing the player that he is now, and he, like week in, week out, he's probably been our best player. Like him alongside Palmer, like those, he's been unbelievable. So yeah.
What about Enzo? I was going to say about Enzo, another 100 mil player. He's not really.
I thought he was very good when he came on. No,
when he came on, he looked alright, but he's not starting your big games, is he?
No, but I think he will come back into the team because when he doesn't play, we lack that little something going forward. And with Lavia and Caicedo, you have a bit more solidity. But when Enzo's in, it kind of frees up Palmer a little bit more. Palmer, because you've suddenly got two creative players to worry about. If you just don't man
It's all
mark,
the attention's on Palmer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Lever and Caicedo, they're not going to hit that defence splitting pass that both Enzo and Enzo's great at finding that bit of space and just keeping the game ticking.
Against the better teams to go a bit more defensive, right?
It does. It does.
I mean, what I was thankful for yesterday was Cole Palmer's dead balls were fucking shit.
Yeah, they were, weren't they?
And like you got a few free kicks.
He didn't have a great game.
He's going to put this.
Whoa! Did you hear that?
Did
you just hear what George said?
Well, at the beginning, the first few minutes, you thought, "Wow, is this going to be a Cole Palmer spectacular game?"
Yeah.
Well, he had and his corners were bad. His corners, and he had about I think he had 2 or 3.
Should we talk about your star boy limping off again after another stinker?
He got injured. Which one?
Again. Every time he has a bad game, he limps off in the 80-something minutes.
I don't think he had a bad game, Saka.
Cucurella. He didn't successfully take on Cucurella once.
I still don't think he had a bad game. I mean, like we looked better with him on the pitch than we did Jesus, but
yeah, but Jesus is a donkey. Things happen.
On that note, thank you.